Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the June edition of Uncensored and In Charge with Erin Childs. I am so happy to be here, and I appreciate all of you tuning in. So it's impossible for all of us, I think, to kind of agree with the fact that we are at a mid-year check-in point. And the year is fast and furious, and I am going to talk two parts today. The first thing is we're going to do the mid-year check-in for goals, accountability, and then we're going to talk about the graduation season, sales, and what the rest of this year looks like for you. So part of the important pieces of mid-year check-ins for me is to kind of make sure and hold accountable, at least for my clients, that you are still focused on your 2026 goals. And then the other part of what I want to make sure is that you guys are fully honed in to graduation season, maximizing sales during this warm weather period as we kick off the end of spring and the beginning of summer based on where we are in the country. But there are a lot of graduations happening right now. So I just want to kind of hone in a little bit there and make sure that you're maximizing this important time of year, and how this important time of year can actually turn into larger catering opportunities for you into the fall, into the end of summer, into the winter, et cetera. So we're just going to kick off and begin with our goals. So in January, I had done an episode about setting your goals for 2026. And I said that we should really kind of start at the end of a year in December as things kind of quiet down, as you get through your big holiday parties, and really start to spend January thinking about what the new year looks like, what you're looking for. So at this part of the year, I really want you to revisit the goals that you had set for 2026. And I want you to honestly evaluate your progress so that you can say, am I working on this? Is this not? Is this serving me? Is this not? Identify what's helping and what's holding you back, and then refocus on what the next 6 months is going to look like based on what you've been holding back or figuring out what was actually working well for you. Okay. So that's some of the things that I just want to have you take this second half of the year and determine, what is really good, what the next 60 days looks like for you and what you're actually going to be able to execute. Okay. Now, as I said, go back to January. I know some people might have had revenue growth goals. They might have had catering sales goals. They might have had team development, personal growth, health and wellness, work-life balance. I'm sure some of these items are on some of your lists, okay? I think one of the first places to start with reevaluating where you're at the 6-month check-in is, what goal did you write down that you were most excited about in the beginning of January? I really want you to think about that. And then I want you to have a reality check, okay? Usually at this part of a year, when we're speaking about goals and, doing the best that we can and trying to achieve those goals, people can fall into 3 categories, okay? So they can fall into the number 1 category of crushing it, right? They're ahead of their plan. They are on time for their plan. They have been building momentum. They're 6 months in and they are feeling good, and their results are showing it. And so they feel like what the next 6 months is, they're very dialed in and they're very focused on it. Okay, so they're crushing it. That's that category. Then we have the bucket of making progress. So these are the people who you probably have had some wins in your goals and you've hit some of them. And you've probably had some setbacks and you're probably having to recalibrate what that goal was. And that is okay. And I actually think it's a really important ability to have, is say, wait, this isn't going to be what I thought it was, and redirect and start either over or step to the side and step into it at a different angle. And then the next group is usually the ones that fall off track. Now, this could be categorized as like just completely lost focus. Your daily demands of the grind took over. That's often something that we will see. And I think that sometimes they just get this group of people who got off track pretty quickly. They just got stuck and froze, and they just said, oh God, I can't. I'm going to bury my head in all of the daily chaos that happens versus really try to do their check-ins to make sure that they're hitting their goals. I think one of the most important things that I want to make sure I mention on this reality check part that I'm talking about is that this isn't about judgment. It is about making sure you're aware of where you stand and what you're able to do, because there's an important difference, and you can achieve your goals. You just have to kind of get yourself back on a track if you feel like you've fallen off. Now, a good exercise for all of you to do as a little checkpoint for yourselves, a goal scorecard exercise. Okay. So write down like your goal and write green, yellow, red. Okay. The goal on track, right? In the green area, we have some progress being made. This is good. Yellow, we're kind of falling off the track a little bit, right? And then red, we've completely lost it. Okay. I want you to do this for how about your top 3 goals? Because usually, you know how I always talk about the power of the 3. So if we talk about those 3 goals, where do they fall in the categories of the green, yellow, and red? Where are you winning? Where have you stalled? And the why. If you can answer these, this is going to be really helpful for either getting you back on track, showing the progress that you've done, or recognizing the fact that you completely fell off and you lost it. Now, when you're figuring out your why, you also have to be figuring out what's getting in the way here, right? So as I said just a second ago, there might be too many priorities that you've got lined up. Lack of accountability, huge one. There's also the realistic piece of poor planning in your schedule. There could be reactive leadership that isn't helping you hit your goal, which I think is something important to acknowledge. And of course, that awesome waiting for motivation. The truth is, success rarely comes from motivation if you don't already believe that. It comes from consistent habits. And I've talked about micro moments before. Micro moments are so important. The micro moments that are what create the big moments. They're those small little stepping stones, those small little patterns and habits that you keep doing. So it allows for you to keep going up to reach the goal. That's so important. If you don't see the micro moments that you need to do in your daily life to achieve the goals and put your priorities back in line, then I invite you to have this moment to figure out how to go get those. Now, one of the things that you should be asking yourselves in order to go and get those goals is, are your daily actions matching your goals? Okay. So if someone followed me around for a week, would they know what my goals were? Okay. Would they know what your goals are? Because goals just don't show up in what we say, right? They show up in what we do. They show up in our calendars, the way we book time, the way we organize priorities, the habits that we hold every single day, and the actions. When we were little, we probably heard the term actions speak louder than words. We've probably heard that many times in our adult life as well. Actions speak louder than words in achieving your goals, because you are doing micro movements to make your goals happen. You are creating the important priorities so that you can hit your goals. Okay. Now, one of the things that I find very, very important is the power of being able to circle back and check on your goals regularly. Great leaders do this. Questions that you should be asking yourself halfway through the year. Is this goal still important? What progress on this goal have I made? What and where do I need adjustment? And what is the next step for this goal? Do I need help? Do I need more support? Do I need to give more support? Success is not a set it and forget it. Okay? It's not a crock pot. Success is a revisit and a refocus. And this is how you hold yourself accountable. Now, you all know I've talked about this for over a year on this show. Accountability matters. Everybody, in my opinion, should have a coach. Coaches are helpful outside sources that allow for inside information to get processed and help process through leadership. Everyone needs to be held accountable. Ask yourself, who is helping you stay focused to make sure that you reach your goals? Do you have a manager that you can name? Is there a peer that gives you the support? Or what about a team member? Ask yourself, do I have a mentor? Do I need one? And of course, as I started, perhaps it's time to get an executive coach. Accountability helps us all turn intentions into results. And as leaders, there's nothing more important than that. So I'm going to close out this little segment of the show before I jump into the next 6 months, as I want you to look at the opportunities that you've had over the past 6 months and evaluate them. Ask yourself, am I aligned with where I need to be? Okay? Create your little scorecard exercise for your goals. Green, yellow, red. Am I making progress? Am I off track? Have I lost it? And most importantly, be gentle on yourself, but just start. It's really important. Now, I hope that all of you have been hitting your goals, and I hope that you are finding yourself halfway through this year feeling strong and confident because you've been building micro moments of success that have led to a positive 6 months for you. Now let's talk about the opportunity ahead and shift a little bit. Okay? Now it's time to talk business. We are entering one of the busiest seasons of the year, besides the holidays, right? Spring season, graduation season, it is here. Opportunities for us to be grabbing right now are family celebrations, open houses, school events closing out, faculty appreciation, end of year parties, end of year sports banquets, and of course, graduation parties. Now, hopefully you're kind of a little bit ahead of this because we are literally at the peak of graduation season right now. But this isn't necessarily a season this time of year that you want to be reacting. This is the season that you want to be executing. You want to be crushing it. And why does this season matter? Picture it. You are having graduation parties where there might be lots of people present at them. These are large order opportunities for you. These are new customer acquisition opportunities for you. Repeat business opportunities for you. End of summer event booking opportunities for you. And dare I say it, because it's only halfway through the year, perhaps a company holiday party. Picture, you're at a graduation party, okay? And you love the catering experience that you're witnessing. As a guest, it's fun, it's entertaining, you love the food. All of the guests seem happy, yourself included, and you think to yourself, you know what? I need to throw a graduation party next year. I'll be sure to get their name and number. I throw a graduation party. I've got multiple children. They're all graduating in the next few years. And look, you've just gained 3 personal events from me. And by the way, I work for a company and I'm in charge of their holiday parties. Do you see how endless this road could be if you have this many people at one party and I'm just one person, possibly giving you 4 different events? It's awesome. And you have the power and the ability to do it. Today's graduation customer could be tomorrow's corporate client, your holiday party, their holiday party, a private family reunion. You never know unless you talk to your clients and your customers and you get to know them. This is working micro moments of sales building that will have a big benefit for you and pay off. Now, halfway through the year, number one question that I always will be asking is, are you on pace for your sales goals for the year? Okay. If you don't have that answer, shame on you. However, if you don't know your answer to that, perfect moment to take a look at your sales plan for the year. We're halfway through. Where are we in our year-to-date performance? How has our average size of order been? Have we had new customer growth? Have we had repeat customer growth? If the end of year ended today, would you be satisfied? Ask yourself, ask your team that honest question. It is an important piece for you to finish out the next 6 months of this year with your sales plan front facing, with everyone knowing what your financial goal is supposed to be. Sales habits that drive results, you guys. Let me give you a quick lineup. The top performers constantly and consistently follow up immediately. They ask for the next order. They upsell thoughtfully. They re-engage past customers, and they constantly are looking for new prospective clients, even by asking their engaged customers, do you have anybody that you know that would like to work with us, or that you could give me their contact information? Use what you already have to go get more. It will serve you very well. Success isn't about luck. It's disciplined execution, working off the micro moments that I'm trying to explain and remind you to build. Now, if you're in the midst of graduation season and you haven't perhaps created little checklists for yourself, and maybe this will be helpful, I hope that this will be helpful. Customer outreach, perfect example of how this works. You reach out to a customer that you haven't had any contact with in a little bit, and I promise you, you probably just fell off their radar, and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, yes." And the next thing you know, you're seeing an event come through for them, right? So contact prior clients, reach out to any schools, organizations, okay? Perhaps create special graduation packages, midsummer company party packages, highlight ordering deadlines for everybody to understand, and encourage early booking because you're selling out. This is important marketing for yourself. And then let's jump to the operational readiness, right? Because you are not successful unless you can operate what you're selling. So just make sure that your team is really prepared and in sync with what you're trying to accomplish, okay? Make sure that every day you guys are reviewing delivery schedules, that you're making sure that your production capacity is assessed, that you're executing at the appropriate level that you need to handle the sales volume that you need to. And make sure that your menus are good. Okay. Really talk to your customers and make sure that you are on trend with what is, the latest and the greatest in the food world. Great sales without operational readiness will not become great sales. I do not need to tell you this. If that kitchen team isn't prepared, if your operations is falling short, then you are not going to succeed. So it's a perfect moment right now for you to do a check-in with your operational team and make sure that they are doing okay. Let's jump to the marketing piece now. Graduation parties, summer barbecues, back to school events, all of it. You better be blasting it on social media. If you're not, you are missing out on an everyday basis. Make sure your email campaigns are launched appropriately and thoroughly. Make sure that your messaging is updated. And honestly, one of the best things that works, as old school as it seems, is your pop-up on your website. Now offering graduation catering. It's important. People want to be able to look online and say, oh yeah, they can do this. Make sure your catering menus market to the groups that you want to sell to. And of course, your customers that have had wonderful opportunities with you and successful parties, their testimonials to some of this stuff is so important. Please go after it. They want you to succeed. So if you're kind of stuck and you're trying to figure out, okay, I'm 6 months in, my sales are they're pretty good. They're not where they need to be. How can you go find more sales? Well, first one, go call your past customers that haven't ordered. I said it before. Who haven't we contacted? Easy first step. Look at your community that you work around. What organizations perhaps have never had catering from you that you could cold call and go out and see? And what customers do you have that might want to upgrade to larger or different packages to change it up a bit? The easiest sale that you will make, all of you, is hiding inside of every single one of your catering databases. Go use your existing resources to help you grow more business. They already know you. They already trust you. Now, there is still plenty of time left in this year. We haven't even really officially gotten to summer. So, and school's still in session, at least in the East. But there is lots of time left. I don't want any of you to be asking what happened to the first half of this year, like I started this session, wondering how you'll possibly make it up. The question that you need to be asking yourself is, what am I going to do the second half of this year? Refocus on your first goal. Make one habit to improve on hitting that goal if you haven't already. Go out and figure out how to connect your sales team with the right people to get those sales in order if they are not. Figure out one action this week that you can take to make a difference in action planning. Action planning, say every Friday at the end of a week where you can reflect back, or on a Monday when you start your week where you know what you want to do. Action planning on sales, on marketing, on team, on operations is very, very important and has a lot of value. Now, my closing thought. Success is not going to come to you success is not going to come to you all by just setting goals. Success is going to come from revisiting them, adjusting them, tweaking them, acting on them consistently. The micro things, I've said that a lot. So as we come into summer here and we head off in the next 6 months of this year, I ask that you stay focused. I ask that you stay accountable. I ask that you stay proactive. And I ask that you execute with purpose. The teams that win won't necessarily always be the busiest, but they will be the most prepared. If we were to meet again, say in 60 days, which we meet monthly, so in 60 days from now, what result would make you proud of how you approached right now in the middle of this year? I want you to think about that. So from here, I sign off and I say, I will see you in July. Please enjoy all of those graduation parties and celebrations. Most importantly, don't forget to thank your clients for their business. Thank you for tuning in, excuse me. And if there are any questions, I will happily answer some. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in to this month's episode of Uncensored and In Charge. Take care. It doesn't look like we have any questions today, friends. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you well. Take care.